But each of these families still saw the tiniest bit of hope left for freedom and to find a home sweet home. What do you picture when you think of home sweet home? A white picket fence with a manicure garden. A warm, comfortable place surrounded with memorable pictures and sentimental objects. Somewhere you can be yourself, feeling safe and secure. A place for a family and friends to gather around. My first memory of home was surrounded by beautiful flowers, safe and filled with love, care, and laughter. All I remembered was seeing my whole family were all so happy with eyes full of hope. Home sweet home. However, this home sweet home we had came with a huge cost, a cost I could never have understood as a little girl. I was simply too young to remember what my family had endured to finally have this home. Can you imagine? What if your home was not a safe place? What if your country was not a safe place? In 1975, my older sister was 2, and it was before my time. The Vietnam War ended with the fall of Saigon, and that was the beginning of non-stop warfare as the communist forces from North Vietnam and took over South Vietnam, where my family lived. People in the South completely lost their freedom. Their home was no longer a safe place. Their country was no longer a safe place. Communists were controlling everything, and people were left poor and starving. Some people even committed suicide. People were desperate. Every month you will hear gossip that some families abandoned their homes and vanished. They tried to escape across the sea. Too many times you heard bad news of boats not making it through. But sometimes you heard the news of telegram or handwritten letters that they made it safely to another country. So many dangers, risks, and death involved. But each of these families still saw the tiniest bit of hope left for freedom and to find a home sweet home. In 1980, when I was a toddler, my family finally gathered enough resources and connections to make an escape. Imagine us on a small boat out in the ocean one day and one night later. It's pitch black on the middle of the ocean. The boat engines start to break down. Everyone knew that boat wouldn't make it to safety, so they decided to turn around. My mother was holding me in her arms, and my sister, 7 years old, was sitting right next to my mother. Bang! All of a sudden, the boat hit the rocks, and the boat flipped over. People, debris, and everything was scattered all over the ocean. My mother held me tightly in my arms until we reached the surface of the water, gasping for air. I was floating when my uncle spotted us and saved me and my mother. They looked around desperately for my sister, but she was nowhere to be seen. One of my auntie, my mother's younger sister, was also lost. 2 other close relatives also didn't make it, along with many others. There was another family who were on the lower deck of the boat. That whole family died. In total, half of the people on board either passed away or were never found. We sneaked back to our old home in Vietnam. Life went on, but home was still not a safe place. Another year went by and my grandfather passed away. Soon after his passing, we had another opportunity to make an escape. In 1981, when I was 2 years old, we gathered some food, water, and some supplies for an escape out on the water again. We saw several ships. However, they all turned away and refused to pick us up. Some threw us water tanks before leaving. By this point in time, many merchant ships encountering boats in distress often refused to pick up the refugees for the fear that no country would allow them to unload the refugees. 4 days and 3 nights passed on the boat. Somewhere in the middle of the oceans, no land or ships around. There was nothing but the endless ocean. We still had some food, but we ran out of water once again. Dark clouds gathered as the sun set when we saw a ship in the distance. Some people on the boat were waving white flags frantically, trying to get their attention, but it was also turning away. We were losing hope when I suddenly looked towards the ship into the open sky and said, "Grandpa, pick me up!" A few moments later, the ship miraculously turned around. The Norwegian ship picked us all up. My mother believed my grandfather's spirit protected us. The ship took some of us to Japan and others to Norway. Our first home in Japan was at Father John's refuge. He welcomed my whole family and a few others into his home. Finally, we were safe. A place we could feel at home. Home, sweet home. We were incredibly lucky to have those people help us because we could not have done it alone. Their spontaneous act of kindness and generosity saved our lives. A random act of kindness is defined as giving to others without any expectations of return. Those people truly touch our lives with their kindness, renewing our faith in humanity. I don't know if I can ever repay such kindness. However, as Morgan Freeman once said, how do we change the world? With one random act of kindness at the time. It's something we can all do. We may not understand the struggles others face, but we can all choose to be kind and help create a sense of safety. As Cecilia Ahern said, home is not a place, it's a feeling. Each of us has the power to help people feel safe and secure anywhere in this world. Home is more than just a physical structure, pictures or possessions. It resides within the spirit and deep within the heart. I leave you with my definitions of home sweet home, echoing the words of the Pliny the Elder, a Roman philosopher, said, "Home is where the heart is." Let's strive to make the world a better place every day, ensuring everyone feels at home, no matter where they are. This was a speech I delivered for the Gill Archer competition in 2024. Thank you to Rostrum 68, all the coaches that helped me became a better speaker. Truly honored to have met you all and receive amazing support and the peer for the encouragement that I receive all the time. And if you ever think of something you want to say to the world, Go out and make it happen. And I hope you can make it to Rostrum Public Speaking Club, as they are wonderful organizations and you meet wonderful people there too.